Okay, so as you can see, I am rocking my Zeta Phi Beta shirt. It was our Founders Day on yesterday, January 16th. We celebrated 100 years of service, and I didn't get to post a video for our Founders Day yesterday, but I just wanted to rock my shirt anyway since I'm making a video today. So, yeah, let's get straight into this video.
Gotta choose someone, then it must be her. She been here since day one. I guess I'm at the
Alright, so again, per the title, you will know that this video is going to be about the pros and cons of interlocking your hair. You can either use, the basic little crochet hook that most people use when they're doing any type of crochet braiding, or a lot of people have started to use these little crochet type of hooks to do interlocking on their locks. And these pros and cons that I'm listing are just my pros and cons that I see and view with interlocking, the experiences that I've had with interlocking my hair. And so let's just jump straight into it with the pros. For me, the number one pro of interlocking your hair is that it lasts longer. And what I mean by that is when you do a retwist on your hair, oftentimes it doesn't last that long. For me, my retwists sometimes don't even last as long as a week. But it all depends on the type of product that you use or whatever. But for me, when I interlock my hair, it lasts for a long time. And what I have been doing is doing the interlock every 6 to 8 weeks. And that interlock lasts that time. I could even go further past the 8-week mark with not even having to interlock my hair because it holds up that good. So that is my number one pro of interlocking my hair. The second is that you really don't even have to use any products when you do interlock your hair. I don't use any products when I interlock my hair. The only thing that I do is I end up washing my hair and I let it air dry like 75%, and then I interlock my hair because for me it's easier to interlock while my hair is pretty damp. I try not to do it while it's super wet because I know once you start interlocking or whatever, you can interlock too tight because your hair is very pliable when it's wet. Yeah, you don't have to use any products on your hair when you do interlock, which in turn can eliminate the product buildup that you have with retwisting your hair. The third is that you can wash your hair at any time. So say I interlocked my hair yesterday, I can wash my hair today. And my parts and everything will still be there. It won't look like it's puffy or frizzy or anything like that. Your parting system will still be there. It will still look like you just did a retwist on your hair. So that is another pro of interlocking, because when you palm roll or retwist your hair, whenever you wash it, your retwist is basically gone. Majority of the time, no matter how hard you try to preserve that retwist, it pretty much is gone after you wash it. But with interlocking, everything still stays in place, your hair still looks good. So that is definitely a good pro of interlocking. And the one is I think interlocking is good for people with the active lifestyle. Currently right now my lifestyle is not as active because the only thing I'm doing is watching my daughter and things like that. But if I was still working out constantly like I was before, and working plus handling my daughter, interlocking would have definitely been a pro for me because I don't have to worry about doing my hair as often, especially with having a little girl. You have to do her hair, and my daughter has a lot of hair, so you have to worry about doing her hair. And then also I do my husband's hair as well. So if I would have been having to do all those things plus do my hair on a daily basis, it would have definitely been too much for me. So interlocking definitely helps with that because no matter how much you sweat in your hair or anything like that, it's not going to get puffy. It's not going to, start looking bad. So that's definitely another pro of interlocking. So now let's go straight to the 4 cons that I have. The number one thing with the cons of interlocking, like I said before, is that you can definitely interlock it too tight where you create knots in your hair. And basically what I mean by that is, how you go through your passes when you're interlocking your hair. Sometimes you think that you're able to go through one more pass and you're not. and when you go through that pass, it gets stuck and it creates a knot. Sometimes you're able to get the knots out, and then sometimes you're not. And I've had plenty of times, excuse me, where I've interlocked my hair and I thought I was able to go through another time, and I couldn't go through the way, and I had a knot. I had a few times where I was able to push it back through, so I could loosen it up and get the knot out. But there's been plenty of times where I haven't been able to get the knot out, so I basically had to wait until my hair loosened back up before it felt any better. And that stuff definitely hurts when it's too tight. So that's one thing that you definitely have to be mindful of if you're a self retightener, or if you go to the shop and get it retightened. You have to be mindful of these things. So be cautious of the person that you have that does this if you don't do them yourself. The second is that the locks do not look uniform. You have more of a bumpy appearance. And what I mean by that, if you ever see people who basically started with comb coils and just palm rolled all throughout, their locks have more of a cylinder appearance. And I will try to post a picture to let you guys see what I'm talking about. Locks have more of a cylinder appearance, and it's very smooth and symmetrical. You won't have that appearance if you interlocked. And I kind of don't have that appearance anyways. Before I even started interlocking, I started with 2-strand twists, so of course my locks are going to be a little bit bumpier or whatever, but the bumpiness doesn't even bother me per se, because I like the unique character of it. But if you're the type of person who you want the slick, smooth lock appearance, then interlocking is definitely not going to be the move for you. Number 3, create holes in your locks from going in the same direction. So with interlocking, you have the 2, the 3, and the 4-point rotation. I have been doing the 2-point rotation on my locks. And if you go through the same side the same time, you're basically creating a hole in your lock. And what I mean by a hole in your lock is basically you have a hole, like you can split the lock and you see a hole basically. So you definitely have to be mindful when you're doing any type of interlocking, that you're not going in through the same side, that you're making sure you're going in the same not the same direction, but like say you start east. I don't know how to explain interlocking to you guys, but say you go in from the right and then you go down. Then you need to make sure that that's what you're doing the whole time. So that's what I do when I do my 2-point rotation. I go in this way, then I go down, then I go back this way, then I go back down. So I'm never going side, down, down. I'm always going side, down. So that way I don't create any holes in my locks. And then the major thing that is a con of interlocking is that it takes forever to interlock your hair. For me, interlocking takes way longer than palm rolling my hair. And the main reason is because I definitely don't want to make any mistakes or anything like that when I'm interlocking my hair. When I interlock my hair, I do like to go through and wrap the loose hairs down after I have interlocked the root. So that takes up a lot of the time of me interlocking my hair. But like I said, I definitely try to take my time and do it, because I don't want to rush through and create holes. I don't want to make them too tight to where they're unbearable to deal with. So definitely with interlocking, it does take a longer time. So those are the 4 pros and the 4 cons that I have of interlocking. And the number 1 question that people always ask is, should I interlock my hair or should I not? I would say that it's basically up to you. Whatever type of lifestyle that you're living, and whatever you think is best for you, you should do it for your hair. I have enjoyed interlocking my hair, but I think because my hair is a little bit on the thicker side in some places, I have like I have smaller locks and I have medium locks. So I have like medium locks. Some of them are smaller than others, and I think for the ones that I have that are bigger, sometimes it's harder to get through when I'm interlocking them. So I think I'm at the switch back to just going back to just strictly palm rolling my hair. But I would say there is definitely nothing wrong with interlocking. I have enjoyed interlocking my hair so far. I like that I'm not having to do my hair as often or bother with my hair that often, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to lock my hair in the first place. I definitely would say do your research if you are wanting to interlock your hair. Do your research before you do it, and if you know for a fact that you can't do it, then you should definitely research on somebody that you know. I mean, not somebody that you know, but somebody that's well qualified, somebody that knows what they're doing to interlock your hair, because you definitely don't want to mess up your locks and have to start all over or go through a repair session. Either way, both of those are going to be a lot to deal with. So I would definitely say make sure that you do your research before you start interlocking. Don't just rush and do it because you see other people do it. Do it because it's something that you really want to do and something that you have researched on. So yeah, I just want to come in and give you guys the pros and cons of interlocking, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my next video. Remember, there are weekly uploads. I try to get weekly uploads out for you guys. And yeah, stay locked in. Peace, you guys.